Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple.
It's a beautiful morning here in Georgetown, Exuma, overlooking the gorgeous Elizabeth Harbor and the wonderful Peace and Plenty Resort. Good morning to all of you. I'm Shanique Miller, and welcome to Wake Up Bahamas and the wonderful 65th Annual National Family Island Regatta.
Well, I'm Jiminita, and good morning, Bahamas. I hope you're up. We've been having such a ball here in Exuma. You know what? There were so many highlights. I can't decide which one was the most fun. Was it the pigs?
Yeah, well, she can tell you all about that, and I'll tell you the reason you can't decide is because we're going to show them all of what this island has to offer.
So many highlights.
And its many keys. But you know, it's a warm morning here, the kind of morning and the kind of weather where you kind of wear little or nothing, and that's what Jiminita and I are doing, dressed nicely for this great weather. We're going to show you exactly how other people are taking advantage of the 65th National Family Island Regatta. You know, it's the kind of scene where, Jiminita, you come, you play, you eat, you walk around, and you dress to be seen.
I've been doing a whole lot of eating, okay?
Yes.
The stew fish, the stew conch,
gosh.
it's divine.
Yeah. No, I don't know what dared me to kind of dress this way, because I've been taking advantage of that stew fish as well.
I think you're really feeling yourself
I'm
today.
feeling myself this morning, absolutely.
But it's that kind of day. The weather is perfect here in Exuma. So this is the place to be, guys. What better way to get the morning started?
Yes,
We just need some coffee in a little bit.
Some
That'll
coffee,
be the real
yeah.
ticket and get it going. But
Absolutely.
one of the highlights here, though, is, of course, the races.
The races are incredible, and for the past 2.5 days, it's been wonderful just watching all of the action here in Elizabeth Harbor. We've had Class A, we've had the Cup races, we've had the points races that started yesterday, the junior sloops. In fact, Danny told us yesterday that the junior sailors are saying, no way, we are going to be in the senior competition. So we have so much to tell you about that, because, of course, we know that's why you're tuning in. Well, part of the reason you're tuning in. Jiminita, you've been paying close attention to everything that's been happening on the water here in the harbor for us, and I know that you're going to take a close look at all of the races so far.
Definitely. There were, of course, some races yesterday, and we have those results for you, so stay tuned. Despite the threat of heavy afternoon showers, Class B sloops pulled anchors in Elizabeth Harbor in their series race. Taking advantage of moderate winds, Lonesome Dove took an early lead and cruised to victory. Coming in second was Lady Sonia, and rounding out the top 3 spots was Susan Chase, skippered by Stephen Knowles. Given the weather conditions, race coordinator Clyde Roll was glad they got the race in and wasn't surprised by the outcome.
Surprised. I expect they had 3 of the top skippers in the race, and just like this morning, the same top skippers would always emerge in the top 5. You had Jeff Gale was there, you had Buzzy Roll was there, you had Lundy Robertson there, and you had Stephen Knowles there. They are, in my opinion, the top skippers in this regatta. Unfortunately, they don't have me to compete against, but I'll soon get at them. But thus far, things have been going extremely smooth. And Jeff Gale is sailing smooth like how should I put it? He's sailing very smooth today.
A different narrative played out in the Class A series race later in the evening. Sloops were at the starting buoys for a while before race officials decided to cancel the race because of limited wind conditions.
Is the way that you've been able to just wrap all of that up for us and take us in there and give us an idea of what's been happening. I know you've been working very closely with Ashley Taylor, one of our cameramen who's been out on the water.
Cameraman extraordinaire.
Yeah, absolutely. Capturing all that wonderful footage for you. We're going to tell you so much more of what's happening, interview some of the skippers, and certainly Danny Strawn. We have a lot happening for you on this 2-hour show, so you don't want to go anywhere. As Jiminita said, get a cup of coffee, some breakfast. You are in for an incredible show this morning.
Get comfortable, guys.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time.
Thanks for waking up with us and welcome back to our live coverage of the 65th National Family Island Regatta here in gorgeous Georgetown, Exuma. We are here at the Peace and Plenty Resort, and I'm telling you, I love sitting under this area. Nice and cool and breezy. What does this little wind do for today's competition?
Oh, it makes a whole lot of difference in terms of competition on the waters. The guys have to know exactly how to maneuver their boat because they have the wind they want.
Yes.
Yesterday we didn't get very much wind, but today we have it. I think the
I
good
just,
Lord's...
before you even go ahead, I just want to, of course, officially introduce you. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I enjoyed you yesterday, and I'm excited to get started with you again this morning.
Shanique, everybody's been telling me that Danny, Shanique made you look so much better in real life by sitting next to Shanique.
I totally love whoever you were talking to. I love them all. This is, of
Thank you
course,
so
Danny.
much.
This is Danny Strawn, who is the chairman and commodore of these national regattas here in Exuma, and you've been doing an incredible job for so many years, and it's wonderful just to have you next to me once again this morning.
Well, it's my pleasure to be next to you.
Yeah. So you were getting into the fact that, of course, the wind factor and the fact the skippers must have a skill to navigate through it. Also, yesterday, though, competition had to be kind of called to a halt. Talk us through that. Why was that decision made?
Well, the decision was made in the A class only because the rules specifically states that if you don't have more than 5 miles per hour, you don't start a race. And in that class A race yesterday, we didn't have sufficient room, breeze for them to start. And so we just canceled the A class, and what we're going to do is we're going to sail them this morning around about 11 o'clock.
Oh, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. But yesterday we were able to get in the E, the C, and the B class yesterday. So we had sufficient wind to sail those 3 classes except the A class.
Now, of course, competition gets started in about 20 minutes. That's 8:30.
Right.
And you will see Elizabeth Harbor beginning to kind of just fill up with sails and sailing boats and that kind of thing.
Right.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, Danny, I mean, we know Regatta is jam-packed with everything happening,
Right.
everything for everyone.
Right.
But the star of the show certainly is Elizabeth Harbor and what goes on there.
Oh yeah, definitely, Jenny. You know, people come here and people say, well, you know, people come here to just have party, but a lot of people, particularly the tourism, whenever there's boat sailing over there, they're like ants around those boats, and so it makes our job a little bit more difficult to keep them away. But we're glad to have them there because what are they doing is they're taking pictures, they're sending them back home, they're sending them to social media.
Social media and hashtagging and all this stuff, yes.
And so the country is getting a tremendous amount of free publicity. And the Ministry of Tourism should be happy about that.
I am sure they're overjoyed, and it's something you mentioned yesterday, which of course one of the crew here, Coy, presented to me, and he showed me the Shanique. Look at this international publication,
Right.
and the fact that Exuma Regattas featured prominently our gorgeous waters and of course our boats.
And it's on the top of the magazine, the front of the magazine, the cover of the magazine, and that is the kind of competition, you know, publicity, Shanique, we've been getting for years, and it's free. The government doesn't have to pay for it, so Mr. D'Aguilar should be happy with the fact that he can control and spend his budget elsewhere where it's needed.
Yeah, because Exuma just making its own deposits.
Exactly, we're making our own deposits.
Really, really super. And so, listen, let's just kind of do a recap now of competition so far. What's expected? You mentioned that the A class will race around 11. You'll get them in.
Yes.
But beginning 8:30 this morning, who can we expect?
We're starting with the E class, the little boats.
Yeah.
They're going to sail at 8:30, and then after the E class, we're going to go with the C class boat, and then after that, we're going to sail the big boys, the A class, because we need to do 2 A class races today. And given the kind of wind we have today, we need to do the A class early. And in the afternoon, we'll do the final A class race for the day. So we'll be back on schedule with our races.
Oh, wonderful. Now let's just talk. I know that you are a seaman, you do this stuff, but you are also chairman of the regatta. You have a great committee and a team that you work with. Tell us about the different factors that brings it all together and make it such a rewarding and enriching experience each year.
Well, Shanique, the thing that keeps it all together, it's the glue, is the team working cohesively together. We've been together now for about 15 years. Everybody has their responsibilities, so each year they know exactly what they have to do. When this race is over, when this regatta is over at the end of April, at the end of June we start planning again. and it's almost like a year-round thing to get this regatta properly organized. And so the experienced team, they love it, they commit it, and so it makes my job that much easier because the team they know exactly what to do. But during the course of the next year to get into the 66, there's going to be an awful lot of meeting with sponsors, with the government and everybody to raise the kind of money we need for this event. As I mentioned yesterday, this year, this event is going to cost us like $400,000. People are stunned by that number, but that's exactly
That's
what
what it
is.
takes to pull something like this off,
Oh,
something
yeah.
of this magnitude.
If you want to offer quality event, you have to do it properly.
Absolutely.
And keep it at a certain level.
Yeah.
And we don't want to reduce the level. It's been at a high level, and we want to continue it.
I'm sure your budget increases each year. The 66 will perhaps even exceed that.
Well, I don't know. I'm hoping. I'll fight with government and some of the sponsors.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe we'll get it done.
But there are great sponsors that come back each year
Each
and
year.
others that are added each year.
Each year, right.
And I know it's important for you to recognize them. You can certainly feel free to do that this
Shanique,
morning.
thank you so much. I was waiting for that opportunity. I want to start with, of course, the government of the Bahamas, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Minister Randall Wells, and the Ministry of Tourism, Minister De Aguilar. And of course, I had to put in ZNS. ZNS is, in fact, a sponsor because what are you doing right now? You're sponsoring this event. You're beaming it to all the whole entire country. So I can't forget ZNS. Shanique and Dion and Jamita and Darren and Ashley and everybody. So you guys are sponsors, and you've been sponsors for many, many years. And next on the list is I. Chester Cooper, who's the Member of Parliament for Exuma and the Regatta Island. He's a sponsor. Plus, personally, he's sponsoring personally, and also his company is sponsoring. So that's great, to have him do that sort of thing for us. Then we have Caribbean Bottling Coca-Cola, the Staniel Key Yacht Club, Commonwealth Bank, Atterbury Children's Bay Key, Buck Key, Lightburn Trading, CNK, Exuma Markets, Sandals, Compass Key Marina. There goes my
There goes the list. Well, we
Sandals, Burns House.
Yes, yes. Well, you know what? Thank you. A special thanks to all of them.
All of them.
This wind I love it. It's nice, but
Yeah,
hey,
I've been praying. I've
it
been
is.
praying for this wind, and the wind is just saying, "Hey, Danny, slow down a little bit here."
Listen, guys,
So-
you see that wonderful shot that you're looking at on the television? This is the kind of coverage that, that my team, my awesome team here,
It's priceless.
that we are providing for you. And it's lovely, lovely. I love how Ted just works that drone camera, and it's really, really super. If we can just quickly finish
Dow
up the
Lumber
sponsor
Company,
list.
Island Lock, Lady Holly Knowles, over on the Key, Lumber Point, G&L Construction, Bell Island, Burns House, Village at Hobart Bay, BTC Airport Car, Randall Ferguson, February Point, Apex Award, BPL, Water and Sewage, Ministry of Works, the boat owners, the skippers, and the various committees, and our honorees. Last but not least, our honorees, Jeff Gale from Hooptown, Brad Aubrey from Nassau, and Morris Rule from Black Point, Exuma. And
Absolutely.
the theme is celebrating sloop builders.
Okay, awesome. Celebrating sloop builders. What better event
And,
to do
you know,
that?
and the best sponsor this week, actually is Shanique and Jamita Swain.
Hey, speaking of Jimenita, she is out there, just there overlooking Elizabeth Harbor with a great, great, great feature to share with us. And so we're going to send it to Jimenita.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Shanique. One of the places that I had an opportunity to visit was the Ellen Coakley High School in Morristown. It's an institution known for its academic prowess. In fact, Principal Don Barr has been in that position for the last 3 years, and his intention is to take the institution higher.
Right now, we have seen the success of many of our students in their internal exams as well as their national exams. And so we intend to continue to improve in those areas.
Ellen Coakley is an institution that has produced students whose national examination results have been notable. One of those high achievers is 10th grader Hannah Percenti.
In the 2017 BJC examinations, I received the highest results for the island of Exuma, the district of Exuma, and Cat Island and the Keys, and also I received the highest in the school. Honestly, taking 10 BJCs in grade 9 was pretty intense. I didn't think I would make the results I made, but a lot of hard work.
Hannah's achievements are something Principal Barr brags about. She received 5 A's, 4 B's, and 1 C.
Hannah Percenti is one of our high achievers. She's done very well in terms of the BJC. She and her sister have done very well in the BJCs. And we are expecting that same kind of results this year. With the facilitation of the BJC and BGCSE workshops, along with other initiatives that we've put in place, We expect these results to continue to get better.
For Hannah, she does not want anyone to underestimate the potential of the students at Ellen Coakley. She says for a Family Island school, the national results are comparable. And while students excel at academics, it's not the only thing they engage in. Several students are a part of the Youth Ambassadors.
We first all traveled to Vermont, and then they split us up into 3 different host cities. Me and my group went to Seattle, another group went to Tulsa, and another group went to Kansas State.
You get to see so much, the social issues in the U.S. that you wouldn't see on TV.
Students balance both academics and extracurricular activities. Moving through the campus, one of the classroom blocks stands out more than any other. It's the domain of art teacher Julie Knowles, who is also being celebrated as a Teacher of the Year. She's been at the school for the last 3 years.
When I came here, the students, they at first were afraid to come into the art class because they thought it was the same thing, just the shell crafts. And when they found out that I was actually a trained teacher, they came and asked, and they saw my work. They were like, "Miss Knowles, we want to do this." So the classes just started getting bigger and bigger to a point now where my 7th grade has like 24 kids in it. And that's a challenge.
Ms. Knowles is resourceful when it comes to sourcing supplies.
I always work along with the science teachers for they have science programs where they do recycling competitions in Nassau. So they would use my students' pieces to showcase. Like for example, the wreath in the back, it's actually made from recycled items such as old cardboard boxes and the water bottles and old bits of ribbon. Broken bits, broken plates, anything that we can actually find, we actually reuse it.
The art lover seeks to challenge her students in more than just art.
I am in the Performing Arts Club and in the great Exuma Community Youth Marching Band. I am also in the Key Club, as you can see. I'm president-elect for this club and editor for the district.
There's also a cycling program at the school. Head teacher Antonio Sanders acts as a coach.
Oh, the cycling program, it was the brainchild of one of our colleagues. He came in and he just wanted kids to ride. He saw what Ride for Hope was. He thought the same thing could be done here in Exuma. He got in with some of his friends who have been investors who are very passionate about riding. They came in and they donated a whole stock of stuff to us, bikes, gears. And I think right now we're the only high school in the Bahamas, or the only school period in the Bahamas that does cycling.
Principal Barr only plans to take the success of the institution higher.
This year, for our last setting of the BGCSE and BJCs, we got 2nd place overall in the country. And that in itself is a milestone. It's not the first time we got 2nd. It is the 2nd or 3rd time. I stand to be corrected, but I know it is at least 2 other years that we got at least 2nd place. We won 1st place. It means that our students have to continue to work hard. As our teachers continue to invest in them, we want our students to understand, that there is a reward for hard work. Hard work truly pays off.
As you can see, only great things happening at the Ellen Coakley High School, the home of the Panthers. Back to you, Shanique.
Jimanita, thank you very much. Such a great, great story on Ellen Coakley. I know you must be super proud.
Absolutely. Exuma is my home. I'm from Forbes Hill, but Ellen Coakley is where I've gotten my basic education. Absolutely incredible institution that has produced a lot of successful people in our community.
Including you.
Well, I'm the first member of parliament who graduated from Exuma Senior High.
Awesome. Yes. Listen, I will be back with this gentleman. This is Chester Cooper. He is the member of parliament for Exumas and the Ragged Island. And we will talk to him about that and much, much more on Wake Up Bahamas. Stay close. We're going to take a break and come back after this.
I used to know that you love. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time.
up to that gorgeous view we saw a moment ago, and that kind of view really is all of Exuma.
Absolutely. Across it, the islands of Exuma are 365 of its keys.
365.
You can wake up to beauty like you see here in
Oh,
Elizabeth Harbor,
gosh,
but this is an
yes.
incredible harbor,
Yes.
and Exuma is incredibly beautiful. I'm very fortunate to be the Member of Parliament for this area. I'm very fortunate to have been born here and grew up here and attended school here. So you know, God's been good to me.
It's been exceptionally good.
Without question.
And you know, I will give you all of that because you know you speak truth. Exuma is lovely.
Yeah,
It's known
yeah.
the world over for being so gorgeous.
I've been to more than 50 countries around the world, and every time I travel through the keys of Exuma, I marvel at the natural beauty of our islands. There's no place like Exuma on earth, and I say it unashamedly, unbiasedly.
No, like I said, I give it to you, sir.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I give it to you. Listen, you all, welcome back to our live coverage here at the 65th National Family Island Regatta. We are here at Club Peace and Plenty, and I am here with the Member of Parliament for Exuma, Chester Cooper. You must be exceptionally proud this week in particular.
Without question.
With this wonderful
Without
regatta
question.
that really has taken on a life of its own and doing so well 65 years in.
65 years in anything is a great feat. It shows sustainability, and I think the organizers, the National Family Island Regatta Committee, ought to be commended. All of the sponsors and participants in the local community. Regatta is good for Exuma. It's an opportunity for camaraderie, for Exumians to come back home, for Bahamians to get to see a piece of our island, but it's also good for the economy.
Totally.
Our vendors, our entrepreneurs, we see small entrepreneurs, we see larger businesses like this property that's fully booked.
Yes.
You can't get a car, of course. And you can't really get into restaurants.
No, everything. There's a
is-
line everywhere.
Everything is fully
You know,
booked,
and I know.
and this is a good thing.
Yeah, and you love. We heard the gun go off a moment ago,
Yep.
so that signals that races are getting ready to start. So you'll be seeing them just kind of, moving about on the harbor as they race. And I know you want to go out today or tomorrow to try get out there.
I anticipate that this is going to be a great day of sailing. Unfortunately, the weather yesterday was just fantastic, too fantastic for sailing. But I'm feeling.
Is there
good.
such a thing? I mean, because when Danny was talking, I was like, "What do you mean?" I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then sailing on the water is a different thing
It's a
entirely.
great day for boating and fishing yesterday, but today we have about seven knots we're predicting, so this should be excellent for sailing. Certainly the C class, I believe, has just started, so the day is expected to be fantastic. I'm going out today on the water for the A class. I'm looking forward to that. There's a different feel to regatta when you can get out on the water and really watch the race from the water rather than the shore. But if you're on shore, it's still a great experience.
Well, just like particularly from this vantage point, it's just lovely to watch.
I hope that people who come to regatta are really watching the races.
Yeah, I agree.
I think over time, it's become a party.
Yes.
But I recall as a child growing up watching regatta on Regatta Point, there was this excitement and animation, and people were there watching with their binoculars. I hope that a lot of that still goes on.
Let's just hope. We can only hope, right?
And certainly, it keeps the sport alive,
Yes.
and it keeps regatta exciting.
Absolutely. And speaking of regatta and its impact here, you mentioned a moment ago about the fact that properties like this and basically all other properties here on the island and private homes, everything is booked. That must be very, very good for you as Member of Parliament and what it says for the economy of Exuma.
It's great for the people of Exuma. We're having a great year. Even before regatta, many of our resorts here are posting very high occupancy. Sandals, Grand Isle, this property, Lumina Point, all in excess of 85% for the year so far, posting one of the best years ever. And of course, we have a lot of private homes being booked through vacation booking sites like Airbnb, etc. Also good for the island. There's very little unemployment. Exuma
like stick a pin right there. That is something that anyone is the country, any area would be happy to kind of boast about. The fact that Exuma has, and I heard this about 3 times this week already, and the fact that you are now confirming it is just awesome to hear that there is very, very little to no unemployment here.
Absolutely. There's the great renaissance going on in Exuma over the past couple of years. It continues. This year unfolds one of the best years in the economy of Exuma in recent times. Businesses are reporting it, taxi drivers are reporting it. We see all the basic indicators. And there's a lot of excitement about Exuma all around the world. There's the swimming pigs that creates a buzz for the island of Exuma.
And continues to be a popular draw.
It continues to be a draw. And we see new and upcoming entrepreneurs participating, hiring people. Small business drives economies. And therefore, you know, we anticipate that this boom is going to continue for some time. There are some things that we need to do to keep it going. Of course, there's some infrastructural needs. As you drive about, you will see that there are some needs that we must continue to focus on.
Specifically, what are one or two of those areas you're looking at?
Well, when you drive the roads, you will see we're in desperate need of road repairs. The airport we know is coming soon. We expect that groundbreaking is going to happen in short order. The airport has been a sore point for the island of Exuma for quite some time. We know the plans are now complete. The funding has been organized. This has been in the works for many years, of course. So we're looking forward to a brand new airport for the island of Exuma. Many of our resort owners and investors, one of the things that they are always concerned about is the welcome that their guests receive. And we want to do it in grand style. We're doing well at the Nassau and Sir Lyndon Pinling Airport in terms of the gateway to the Bahamas, but this is going to be the gateway to the central and southeastern Bahamas. We see Children's Bay Key coming on very shortly in the northwestern part of the island. This is going to be an exciting development for Exuma. This should be going by the end of this year or early next year. So we're very excited about it. And they're attracting billion-dollar guests and billion-dollar homeowners, and the welcome must be fitting of the type of destination in Exuma.
I agree with you.
Building.
And, you know, before we end this segment, I just want to ask you, so many people I've spoken to from countries around the world this week have said the most fantastic as it is, the most appealing aspect of Exuma is its people. How are you kind of fostering this and saying, listen, guys, let's maintain this attitude towards our visitors?
The people of Exuma are absolutely warm and friendly and very alert to their surroundings, the needs of the environment and the needs of the people who visit, as well as courteous to their neighbors. And this is important because it creates a special warmth where you can go into an island environment and it's just not a tourist drop. It's really a very authentic island that's built by the people of the island. And I invite you to go through some of the settlements, visit Rollville and Williamstown and Forbes Hill. And speak with some of the people if you have a chance this week. And you will see the real authenticity of Exuma that really brings people to the island. So when people visit Exuma, they're not just interested in staying inside the resort, but they want to go out and experience the people, and they go and they talk about this. So this is very special for Exuma, much like many of the other islands of the Bahamas, but Exuma is on a special wicket. This is a great renaissance for the island of Exuma. I'm excited about the continued growth and development, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to serve the Bahamian people and the people of Exuma and Regatta Island as their Member of Parliament at this particular time.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to spend some time with you this morning, and thanks for sharing your thoughts with us.
Anytime.
And I think you're doing a great job. You're a good fit.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. So good seeing you.
Thanks.
We're going to send it to Geminita, who is down at the poolside. Geminita.
Now, of course, Exuma is a boating paradise, and what better way to travel to the Keys than by boat? I had an opportunity to tag along with Coastline Adventures for a wonderful time through the Keys. Take a look. One of the first faces that will greet you at the dock is straw vendor Juliet Lloyd Charlton. She was putting out her souvenirs that included pigs, sharks, iguanas, and other keepsakes.
Most of them, they get their heart, their suntan lotions. They love to buy the pigs and the sharks, so that would remind them that they've been to Exuma and swim with the pigs.
We're here at the Barry Tarry Dock, where we're going to be heading out with Coastline Adventures in a few short moments, where they're going to take us on an adventure through some of the keys in Exuma. From there, it was time to board the boat along with other visitors. Captain Jetty and First Mate Liz had us on the water in no time. Before traveling too far from the dock, we had a brief stop to dive up some conch, which would make a nice treat later on. The clear waters also allowed for visitors to get up close and personal with the starfish. Our journey continues with a stop at a very popular location.
Here's the Thunderball Grotto. It's a cave that we snorkel into. It's open on the inside. There's fish and coral reefs that we snorkel around. The more popular stops would be the grotto, the sharks, and the pigs.
The iconic sandbar is the next stop, where turquoise waters and the sandbank spans for miles.
Jetty seems to be our captain diver extraordinaire right now. He's chefing it up with some conch salad. So tell us, how's it going?
Working me hard. Y'all working me really hard.
Really? You look like a natural, you know, and crack out all the conch basically. You're skinning them. Like, you're making this look effortless.
Yeah, it is. I can do this in my sleep.
It looks so. So we ready for some good conch salad? Gonna be spicy or not really?
How you like it?
I like it like in between.
Okay, yeah, in between. Yeah, we got it.
So Cap, come in slow motion for me with the salad. You think the salad ready? You say it ready. You sure it's ready? You done been working at it long.
If this ain't ready, you can leave me out.
Yeah, that we should try this since they leave him here. Think he can swim back to the mainland? Anyway, I think it's ready. We can see. Let a drum roll. Moment of truth. And you look like you can stay. Look like you know what he's doing with this conch salad. So that's good stuff.
After more lounging on the sandbank, it was off to the final destination.
We're at Leaf Key, where we're gonna hang with the iguanas for a little bit. Got our letters, so let's see how hungry these guys really are. Now, if you want to see how I did with the sharks and the pigs, you have to stay tuned. Of course, you're watching Wake Up Bahamas. Gorgeous waters of Exuma, so lovely. Listen guys, I had a wonderful time this week, and one of the things I did was I stopped by the straw market. It's recently opened after it was destroyed by fire some time ago, and it's a lovely building where the ladies are. And so I want you to take a look at this and my experience, and also after that we had a chance to go over to Stocking Island and chat and chill. So take a look.
There's no stopping this straw vendor. She prides herself on offering anyone who stops by her stall something different.
I was always dealing with guests, and the most that people will look for is originality. Every time they see something in bulk, they don't want it. They ask us if it's from China. So I personally do not like the stigma that we only sell China. I take stuff apart and I make it my, okay, like if I buy a bracelet, I'm not gonna keep selling that and I don't know how to make it.
This passion to set herself apart has led Geraldine McKinsey towards a great talent, jewelry making. She uses all natural material, colored sea glass, Bahamian coins, and much more.
I can take a piece of this and I make it right in front of you.
What is this?
This is sea glass.
What is sea glass?
Sea glass, basically you can get the same effect from a tumbler, but the real sea glass it comes from the water. Like broken pieces or like this one here. If you look at that, over time, the bed of the ocean sands it out. But most of the stuff I get out in Nassau. But I put them here to give them the option, and if they go to the beach and find their own, I make it for them, yeah.
As a result, Jerry's Creations was born.
Basically anything, if it's just a simple rock, as long as somebody wants it and it's special to them, I wrap it. This is just texture paint. I put it on hats, on bags, on shirts, anything. And I just call it doodling. Working for yourself it's a feeling that you never get anywhere else, like working for people.
After leaving the straw market with beautiful pieces of jewelry in tow, I hopped on board a ferry and made my way to Stocking Island. The views were stunning. Gorgeous Elizabeth Harbor, littered with luxury sailboats and yachts. A regular for Exuma.
Every year there's a regatta, and every year I invite a different group of friends, because I believe life is about exposure, and so I wanted to show them something different, if you will. The first time I came to the Bahamas, some 12 years ago, somebody brought me here and exposed me to the Bahamas, and I said to myself, that's the kind of lifestyle I want to live and I want to be a part of. And so I am here once a month. We're on a place here. Obviously we're on a boat here, but this is a wonderful place to come and relax. You can't find any place better.
Darryl fell in love with the island more than 5 years ago. That love affair has now grown into home ownership and much more.
I own a place here at Grand Isle, and I also figured out after the first year that it's hard to live on an island without having a boat, and so I purchased the boat, and this is heaven. And I believe that if more people experience the Exumas, they'll realize how great this place is, but more importantly, how great the people are.
Any visit to Chat and Chill here in Stocking Island has to include the wonderful boutique here with all its wonderful fashions and, hey, the much sought after pieces with the Chat and Chill logo. I'm here with the owner of Chat and Chill. You have really managed to create such a beautiful boutique here with wonderful high fashion items and of course those much sought after pieces.
Thank you very much. Yes. So we're going on 5 years with the boutique, Chat and Chill Weddings and Beach Boutique, where we specialize in destination weddings, and then all of the Chat and Chill logo merchandise. And we're celebrating 20 years this year of Chat and Chill. So my husband, Kenneth Bowe, founded it in 1998. We opened on March 12th. And this year we're celebrating 20 years.
I kind of agree. I'm going to go and have a look-see, just look around and see what I'm going to grab up from here.
Find something to wear on air this week.
I know, right? Yes, absolutely.
We have some fashion items, about 10-15% fashion, but most of it is Chat and Chill logo. But we have a standard of quality. We carry great brands like Legacy Athletic, Ocean Drive, Columbia Sportswear. Those type of premium brands, we stay away from, just the cheapest thing that we can buy. Our customers want quality and they love that they can last. We also have Debbie Katz and the Ocean Drive brand.
Amazing. Guys, thank you very much. I fell in love with that boutique the other day that I went there. In fact, you saw me wearing my nice little wonderful piece yesterday on yesterday's show, but it's really nice. And I'm joined by Kenneth Bowe, who is CEO of Chat and Chill. You have developed such a unique, wonderful, very energetic, entertaining experience there on Stocking Island.
Yes, my dear. I developed it 20 years ago because I realized that there is a deficit in the Family Islands in terms of things for the tourists to do. On top of that, I realized that you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars profit if you apply yourself. So 20 years ago, I developed a concept after much research and using a bit of social anthropology. Now, mind you, I'm a trained economist from the University of Chicago with many, many degrees, and I work as a banker for 10 years in the States and traveled the world. So I had an idea, a window of what people wanted. So what I did was I built this thing, and the research said Robinson Crusoe. They want that experience.
Yeah.
Now, the government is spending millions of dollars in tourism, trying to find ecotourism. The ladies tell me, make something primitive, clean bathrooms, good food, not fried foods.
Listen, and that has been obviously the secret and the draw,
Yes.
because you have people all over the world, even stingrays. You know, we didn't show it, but I had a run-in with the stingray. Let me tell you something. I was walking, you know, wading through the water, trying to look cute, and there is this thing that swam up to me. But this is a part of the attraction at Chat and Chill.
Yes, you go to Atlantis to see something in a cage. You come to Chat and Chill, and it's free.
Yeah.
I use the Nelson Mandela experience. You let the animals run. Now, I'll tell you something about Chat and Chill. Chat and Chill is not a bar and grill only. It's a destination.
It totally is.
And we are expanding that to do other things. But I would like to encourage young Exumians to come home, put something down in terms of use our beautiful waters, etc., and create a business. Start somewhere. Exuma is growing so fast until I noticed this year, groceries could not even land in the grocery shop fast enough.
Yes.
If you go to the mail boat, you see several mail boats coming here 3-4 times a week, and they're loaded. So, you know, we as Bahamians have got to stop complaining and comply. Just comply, and you'll see how far ahead you'll go.
Absolutely. The opportunities are ripe here, and I love what you're saying. You're compelling anybody who wants to do something and be somebody that it's possible, especially here in Exuma. Make it happen.
Yeah, well, let me give you an example. On the first day I opened, I sold 60 cases of beer, 24 pounds of hot dog, and 30 pounds of hamburger. I mean, I said, what? You can do this on a beach? And then I started pigs. Right now, I need between 120 to 150 pigs a year just to keep my Sunday pig roast going.
I heard about that. I tell you, I don't know. You're going to have to try and make an exception for me and my crew and get us in there maybe on Saturday. But listen, Kenneth, it's wonderful just chatting with you and hearing more about Chat and Chill, guys. Whenever you visit Exuma, that's the spot. After the mainland, then you must hop over to Stocking Island at Chat and Chill. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's great talking to you.
And thank you very much as well.
Absolutely. Stay exactly where you are. Wake Up Bahamas here in Georgetown, Exuma at the 65th Annual Family Island Regatta comes back after this. Watching the Wake Up Bahamas show, and joining me now live is Reg Smith. He's, of course, the president of the Exuma Sailing Club. Good morning, Reg.
Good morning, and welcome to Georgetown, and welcome to National Family Island Regatta.
Well, thank you. Now, obviously, you're the brains behind the junior sailing competition. So give us an idea of how you all got started with that, how many sailors passed through your door, and what's going on now.
Well, actually, I'm not the brain. I was invited in by Chris Cattell over at the foundation, the Exuma Foundation, which is one of our major patrons. And about 5-6 years ago, we started to rebuild what they were trying to do with junior sailing, and hooked up with a fellow by the name of Dallas Knowles. And together we put together the Exuma Sailing Club, which is now a registered company in the Bahamas. And so we have put some 100 kids through our program so far. Some of them have graduated and gone on to other things. We now moved the program from going into the community and selecting ourselves. We've gone to the high schools because what we're trying to do is to get sailing into the high schools as a major sport, like basketball or any other sport. So we have Ellen Coakley and St. Andrews. We have 2 teams now, 10 persons each from each school, and we're going to have our first inter-high school competition shortly after Regatta.
So that sounds very interesting, but how young would the youngest junior sailor be?
I think we have opties now. We have 4 different class of boats that 3 different class of boats that we sail. The opties, the E class, and C class. And so opties, we can now drop the entrance age down to 8. So we will take them from 8 and they go all the way up to 19.
So how important was it for you to revitalize the sailing program here for juniors?
Well, I think it was very important because we're an island nation. Sailing has been our heritage. Racing started here in Georgetown with the Out Island Regatta. And we just think that it's a very healthy, clean sport that brings our tradition forward and gives our young people something to hang their hats on. And we think it pulls us together as a family. So that's why we think that traditional sailing, sloop sailing, has to continue. We have to improve it. We have a lot of things we need to iron out. But we think this is a major sport that we hope the government will someday make the national sport of the country. And so we want to get our juniors in there.
So where would you want to see it grow? You mentioned you're in Ellen Coakley and another school here in Exuma, but where ultimately, where would you want to see it?
I would like to see every high school in this country have a team, and I would like to see them come here like we're doing for the National Family Island Regatta. I would like to see on Elizabeth Harbor a regatta for young people, just our young people coming here and competing in different boats. Not necessarily sloops alone, but we have sunfish, we have lasers, we have opties, in addition to tradition, because eventually we want to see these kids get into Olympics. I think the Bahamas should be an Olympic power in sailing.
Definitely surrounded by such beautiful waters.
Beautiful water. And so I believe that's where we need to go, and I'm encouraging those I can talk to in government to really put some emphasis on this, because our young people feel that we've left them behind, and we need to pick up the gap. We need to close that gap, and we need to. I think sailing can do that for us.
Now, speaking about those young people, we have 2 of your junior sailors here now. Othello, tell us how long. Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Bahamas, first and foremost.
Good morning. So I've been sailing for 4 years. 4 years now. I'm really enjoying it, and it gets better every time. So
What do you think you enjoy most about sailing?
I enjoy competing most, regattas, but practice is really fun as well. You get to try new things out and learn your boat better, so that when you go out to compete, you can sail faster, sail better, and put more tactics out there.
So in those 4 years, how many races have you competed in?
I can't count them on my fingers, that's for sure, but I know I've competed in probably almost 100 races.
So what do you enjoy most about sailing? What gives you that rush, that aha moment?
Well, I especially love sailing when the wind is really, really high, so yeah, there's water splashing, certain people trying to control their boats, trying to come after you and catch you. So it's just like especially when you're in the front, it's like, okay, catch me if you can. That's my favorite part of sailing.
So it's all about the strategy and, of course, the chase, because you want to be the one ahead.
Yes, it's mainly about the chase and the strategy.
Now, also here with Othello is one of the female junior sailors, who is Rain Bow. Good morning, Rain.
Good morning.
So tell us, how long have you been sailing with the program?
I've been sailing for 2 years now, and I've been enjoying it a lot. I have a very hyper personality, so during practice, I like to experiment.
So you hope that the program is one that grows. You think more young persons need to take part in sailing?
Yes, I do, because sailing is a really fun sport and it's our national sport. So I think the youth should join in with the fun.
So that's Rainbow telling us about her experience so far in the junior sailing program. But Reg, tell us, are there any junior sailors taking part in the regatta during this time around?
Oh, yeah, we've got a couple out there right now. But I just want to mention that Othello did very well in the juniors in Freeport, because I think he was second, were you not? Second overall in Q, which is a boat that's out here now being sailed by Dallas Knowles, our vice president, and his two sons, Emmett and Josh. And I think Josh is 10 and Emmett is 8. Josh is actually sailing the boat, and we just saw her go by, and he's doing very, very well. So, yeah, so we've got them. We've got Josh and Emmett, along with Dallas. We have Trevette, who is one of our junior instructors. He's out there sailing. And I believe KB's son, Delano, and Cody Lloyd. Delano Bow and Cody Lloyd are in One Bahamas, which is the boat that Dallas's granduncle, Sir Edward Knowles, gave us, One Bahamas. So, yes, we have some people out there sailing in this. Now, they'll move up into C class in the next race, and they will sail on Termite, which is our C-class boat. And after that, they'll go to Tarian, which is our B-class boat. So we're racing in E, C, and B, and we try to have as many juniors on the boats as we can. Tarian, maybe we have just a few of the better juniors. I think Delano is going to be on there, Trevette's going to be on there, and a couple of the other guys. But, yeah, we have three different classes that we sail, and they're out there, and they're competing. And, by the way, I think Termite was 5th yesterday, and so we're looking to do very well in the C class, and we have to improve on the B class.
Well, lots happening with the sailors and the Exuma Sailing Club. Thanks so much for joining us, Reg. Othello, Rainbow, do well. And you're watching the Wake Up Bahamas show. Stay tuned. There's so much more to come.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time.
All morning you've heard us talk about peace and plenty and the fact that we're enjoying our wonderful time here. And we've been here all week. I mean, just absolutely taking over the place. But no trip to Exuma is complete without stopping at Peace and Plenty. It is much of a fixture in these parts. Take a look at what this wonderful resort has to offer. It's a staple that's as much a part of the fabric of Exuma as is the island's annual regatta. Club Peace and Plenty, offering plenty, peace, relaxation, tranquility, and because of its location, an excitement that's all Exuma.
You know, we're a small property, so for us it's not about keeping our guests here at all times. So we want to be a part of an Exuma experience, and I think everyone could appreciate a fine Italian meal, maybe one or two or a couple nights during their stay while they're here in Exuma. So that was kind of our mindset.
It's refreshing to walk through the doors of the 60-year-old property. The foyer is a crisp white with tropical accents and wooden detail. Caribbean chic describes it best. Resort manager Brian Gunther talks about the new ownership and the recent transformation of the property.
Well, first I'll start with what we didn't do. We didn't change any of this. So this was something that our company, along with the ownership, had been working to get for a while, just because of the amazing beauty that we have here of Elizabeth Harbor, and also the history that comes with Peace and Plenty. So once we took over October 25th of 2017, and our focus was on breathing life back into the rooms and into the property in general. For a number of years it had kind of been, I think, going in the wrong direction. So our focus was to first bring the rooms and the property back to kind of the standards that we all kind of know and appreciate these days. Fast internet, bigger TVs in the rooms that are flat screen TVs.
Very important, yes.
Yeah, beds, new linens, just freshening up everything in terms of the rooms.
A part of the refreshing newness of Peace and Plenty is Plus 39, an Italian restaurant that has an international backing. Its presence in the center of town is expanding the dining options here in Exuma. Although this week, there is an inclusion of Bahamian favorites to take advantage of the local crowd and the Regatta Festival.
I think it's interesting because we are the only one in the island, and people need a different choice now in Exuma. Tourists are very satisfied, very happy. Local, more different. I think because don't know our culture.
All the hard work is paying off. Brian boasts that the occupancy rate is over 70%.
We're right around the 70 to 80% at the moment, and the summer's actually looking really well. So our expectation is that we stay pretty close to that, and we're getting better.
About that plate of food, right? Let me tell you, Club Peace and Plenty has everything to offer, and we'll talk more about that. But I am so pleased to have joining me here on the broadcast the owner of Club Peace and Plenty, Burton Rogers, and also the general manager, Brian Gunther, who you saw in the piece a minute ago. Gentlemen, good morning, and it's great to have you joining us on Wake Up Bahamas.
Morning.
Good morning.
Bahamas.
Thank you for having us.
You sleeping any? Because I know me and my team, we ain't really sleeping. We just really doing a whole lot.
Sleep is almost impossible, but it's a good non-sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bad non-sleep. It's a good non-sleep.
Yeah, Brian, how about you?
We'll get a good long sleep after.
After this
There you
week.
go.
So
There you go.
that it's decided then. This week, no.
No sleep this week.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, I love this resort. I have been here before, of course, for work, and every time I come, it was, what's different is the fact that you have made such a transformation and such freshness here at Club Peace and Plenty that it really feels like a brand new property.
Well, that's thanks to my partners and Brian and his team in trying to reestablish, or I should say continue the good work, the gesture done by the Benjamin family and Charlie Fluger, who we bought the property from. So just continuing that tradition.
So you're the recent owner. You recently took this property over?
In October of last year.
October.
And we did a quick renovation. I think probably north of about $1 million in renovation. There's some more stuff that we want to do. We're going to wait until after the season, and then we're going to do some more stuff. But yeah, so we did a quick renovation between October and we opened in February, and here we are.
I love the freshness. I love the fact that when you walk into the main lobby area, I mean, it really is lovely. Talk about the attention to detail, in particular, creating this wonderful mix of tropical freshness and ocean vibrancy, and also some sort of like Caribbean chic, my word that I put there.
Well, our focus for the decor and kind of the overall feel was not to overtake the beauty that we have behind us here in Elizabeth Harbor. So it was kind of, the focus was to upgrade and to refresh, but not to overtake what we have outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, we're in probably the greatest location in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that not because, well, I actually cheat because this is home.
Mm-hmm. So of course
being
there's a
in
little
the-
biasness, but
Oh,
go right ahead.
Of course. But the bias is genuine, the bias is real, and you can see why.
Yeah.
Being in Elizabeth Harbor and unlocking the whole beauty of Exuma and what Exuma has to offer, the transition of Exuma comes from Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
And Peace and Plenty is the anchor tenant of Exuma.
It totally is.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, this property has been the hub really for so many years,
Yes.
and it was looking quite aged, and
Yeah.
you all added such a freshness. What is the employment count here? And also, let's talk about occupancy levels. I understand you're doing exceptionally well.
Yes.
Yeah, right now between the restaurant and hotel, we have about 35 people employed. And our occupancy has really been surprising for us, because once we opened in February,
The
you know,
bookings began
people just
pouring in.
started coming back in once the word started to get out more, once more photos started getting out there on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, in different news articles. We just started seeing the bookings coming in, and it's been strong since February, and it's looking to stay that way all the way through.
What numbers are we talking about, particularly leading into summer?
In terms of percentages,
yes.
we're looking at 70 to 80% probably right through. That's basically where we've been for February, March, and April. And May, June, July are all looking to be just about the same numbers.
Awesome. Now, listen, did you all bargain on having the best seat in the house or the best seat on the harbor with Club Peace and Plenty here for Regatta?
You know, growing up here as a, you know, growing up in Exuma, this was always the spot. You know, I remember as a kid, you know, coming here with my mom, my family members, watching the fashion show during the regatta, sitting out by the dock area watching the races. It's always been the spot. You know, it's always been the spot. And to say we bargained for it, yes.
You counted on that. You know it was going to be.
Of
yes.
course,
And I want people to know that you didn't just purchase this property for purchasing sake. This really has very, very special, just a very special for you because, as you mentioned, your mom. Tell us that story.
Well, but the former owner, Stan Benjamin, and he passed away, and his son, my mother actually used to work for the Benjamin. So when the opportunity came to purchase, and we've been sort of working on this deal for a while, along with my partners, the Harrington brothers, Steve and Patrick, and Gustav and Jasper, and working on this deal, it had a lot of sentimental value to me, more so than doing something for the whole financial reason. It was more of, you know, you have an opportunity to not only own a great piece of property, but own a piece of history.
Yeah.
And history that is personal to me, my family, my friends, my family who I grew up with here in Exuma. So it means a lot.
And what is your vision to have this wonderful historic piece of Exuma expanded and to ensure that it continues?
Well, like I said earlier, it's the anchor tenant of Exuma, and we want to use this as more like a springboard because we want to use Peace and Plenty to sort of unlock Stockton Island, you know, of what we have intentions of doing over there in the very, very, very near future. So this is like the springboard, not only of like I say, just the hotel itself, but what we want to do in Elizabeth Harbor. Because I think Elizabeth Harbor and Exuma, and I'm going to cheat again, is the future of the Bahamas. The goal is to have zero unemployment in Exuma. That has been
You're kind of near there, I'm understanding.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well.
Yeah.
And then take it from there.
Listen, before we end this segment, Brian and Burton, I want to say that plate of food, I just want people to know I shared that with the crew, but you were doing that especially for this week because there's a wonderful Italian restaurant here, but this week you're saying let's cater to the down-home crowd. Yes?
There's a mixture of, that was the plan, and, you know, thanks to Brian and the crew, they have sort of mixture, but although it's very Bahamian, it also has this certain flair to it to complement exactly what they're doing in the restaurant. And the guys, I must say, the chef, the whole crew in the kitchen doing an incredible job.
The group of fingers are awesome.
That group of fingers, oh my goodness gracious.
I've had it with salad, y'all, salad.
But everybody needs to come back and try that pasta dish. What do they call it again? It is, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
They're all good. But yeah.
Everything's good.
All of the pasta dishes are amazing.
Yeah, but my crew can attest. Yeah, we can certainly vouch for everything.
It's insane.
Because we've been, like I said, we've taken over your spot, Brian, and so we've been eating up a storm here all week long. And I guess we'll have breakfast later because you're having a nice you have breakfast offerings as well, which is so good and mouth-watering. Gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by and thank you for accommodating us throughout the week. We really, really appreciate it, and we love being here. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen, don't go anywhere. We have much, much more to come. Remember, Jiminy swimming with the sharks, Jiminy swimming with the pigs, and some other things. I also have a surprise for you. 100 years old, this lady I met yesterday. 100. Very, very nice. And listen, she's quite stylish too, quite the diva. We're going to tell you about that and much, much more. Stay exactly where you are. Wake Up Bahamas here in Georgetown. Exuma comes back after the break.
I used to know that you loved me before.
Show. Now, one of the things I had the opportunity to do was go to Compass Key and swim with the nurse sharks. Now, of course, that was a little bit frightening, but it was also exciting. I also got to chat with the owner, Chris Tucker, who fills us in on how it all comes together.
I caught 2 of those sharks in a fish trap. And I was out in the ocean. I couldn't get them out because it was rough, so I bring them here at the dock. And I cut the trap out and put them in. I keep feeding them. And they stayed. First, I started off feeding them peas and rice.
That's pretty much how the swimming with the nurse sharks experience was birthed at Compass Key. Owner Tucker Roll says the numbers swelled from 2 sharks to now about 25.
Hundreds from all over the world. Hundreds of people come. I can't count them. It's so much. Just to experience this.
What's most enjoyable about this for you? Because like the swim with the pigs, the swim with the sharks is just as notable.
Yeah, well, I mean, the shark is a great experience to me. You know, I train them up to do this, you know, and a lot of people come and they say, oh, we was over at the pig bites you in the butt. They bite a little bit, but these shark, you know, I mean, they're very docile. And once you treat them with respect, they love you to death. All you got to do is stroke them on the top of the head or under the belly. Not in front of their mouth because they suck, you know? And if your fingers are in the way, they'll suck and you scratch you. And your reaction, you're going to go. And you would get scratched. I get scratched a couple of times.
And with those instructions, I was ready to get into the water teeming with sharks. Of course, I was a little apprehensive, but I got in anyway. As I moved closer to the sharks, Captain Jetty was throwing in food from the dock, and as soon as a piece plopped into the water, the sharks raced towards it, sucking it in and moving in and around me. With skin comparable to sandpaper, the dorsal sharks allowed us to pet them without incident. For Tucker, it's an experience every Bahamian should have. So Tucker, tell us, why should Bahamians come and experience this attraction, first and foremost?
Because it's a Bahamian thing. You know, a lot of the islands in the Exuma, I don't know if all over the Bahamas, but they're owned by the tourists. And they put signs up even though it's your birthright, they put signs up that do not no trespassing. And these are Bahamian land. This is the only island a Bahamian could come with no sign up says you cannot enter. Because even though I own the island, this is still your island. You're Bahamian, you know, and I'm proud of it when my Bahamian could come and enjoy this like myself.
So as you can see, swimming with the sharks is a definite must if you come to Exuma. As you can see, everybody is here. They're chilling out. They're getting a little grub on. And we're surviving. Of course, I was a little bit afraid before coming in the water, but these guys are good. So if you come to Exuma, I shouldn't say if. When you come to Exuma, definitely put this on your list of things to do.
I would dare say that Geminita had the most fun this week, right? I mean, what a great piece. And then I saw the DGM of production, Darren Meadows there. He's petting the shark. I am just wondering why that shark just didn't snap back. That's all. I'll tell you all about that some other time. But yeah, I just wish they had come back and said something like that, you know? Guys, listen, I hope you all are enjoying the show. I'm hearing from a lot of you saying that you are. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We have much more to come, so don't go anywhere. I am joined now by Pedro Roll, the Exuma Chamber of Commerce president. You had the biggest smile all morning on your face because you are super happy, as is everyone attached to this island, of the fact that not only is this week successful, but what the week means for businesses and also the economy of Exuma. Welcome to our wonderful Wake Up Bahamas show.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I'm happy to be here, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to welcome you to Exuma, and we've ordered for you a special chamber weather. So I hope that you guys enjoy it.
I noticed that, and we're loving it. We're loving it. Absolutely beautiful here. Yes. Talk about this week and how the injection each year that the annual regatta has on the local economy.
Well, I think what happens in Exuma, it's like, you know, we have Christmas time in our lives, right? And sometimes we build up to Christmas. In Exuma, this is our Christmas because, you know, our businesses, our economy just goes up tremendously when it's regatta time. So businesses, they plan for this. And, you know, this year, I don't know what the numbers are, but just from judging the number of boats that are coming in, people are coming in by boats and by plane, what have you, it seems to be a lot more than even previous years.
So it's grown even over last year. And
yes.
What I've been hearing, you know, this is like the hot spot. And you're saying each year it gets bigger.
It gets bigger, and the impact on the economy is increasing because now I think what's happening is we are attracting a higher quality and I don't want to sound, but people who are in a position, I think, to spend more monies.
Yes.
And so we are seeing that happening more and more. And so that's impacting the local economy. But I got to tell you, I think more than things like construction and all these things, what happens at the Family Island Regatta impacts locals, I think, more than people think, because, you know, we can have second home owners, we can have other investors come in, and they don't always touch locals in a personal way. But the Family Island Regatta touches everyone.
I mean, because first of all, I visited the straw market. I visited 1 or 2 stores here in town. And I also contributed. Yes, I did.
So we appreciate that.
Really, really super.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, it is so awesome to see locals patronizing these areas, the restaurants, the food vendors, just a whole lot of injection happening from multiple areas.
Right. As a matter of fact, yesterday, you know, I went to one of my favorite places to eat. And you know what? The sign says that we are closed because we are going to regatta.
Wow.
Like, so that means what they're saying is, you know, if you want to eat, come to the
check
regatta
us out
site.
at regatta site.
That's the way it is. So I mean, so locals. So it's not just those who come in, but so now we don't cook because it's regatta, because now we know where we can go and eat. So that's a wonderful thing.
I think it was Kenneth Bowe earlier talked about the fact that even in the food stores, the shelves are being basically cleaned every day. This thing is just having an impact on so many areas and so many aspects of the economy, which is really wonderful for you, obviously.
Yes, it is. But what it means, though, too, we need to take this to another level in terms of local empowerment, so that regatta, when it leaves, we don't see a depression in the economy. Right? So I think if we plan for it properly and we build on it, the offshoots from it, we need to kind of have year-round things in place so that when we benefit from this regatta, we take that investment and we make sure we build. So every year, from a local point of view, like you go on the dock and what have you, we should have permanent sites for vendors and what have you, so we don't have to build them and break them down. So we need to be forward-thinking in this. But it does give us an opportunity to think about the future and plan progressively for what happens next year and the years to come.
We were out and about yesterday and just kind of, you know, scoping the scene and getting video, etc. It appears as though a lot of construction is happening, a lot of businesses are already in place, plazas, that kind of thing.
Right.
Exuma really is the kind of economy that is getting to the point, or perhaps is, of sustaining its own self.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, we think that we are already there. If we had, I mean, one of the things that I think keeps a place like Exuma back is it's the governance structure, right? So that if local governments have a greater input, and we are at the position where we can say, let's take a portion of what Exuma generates and puts into the local, into the public treasury. If a certain percentage of that is reinvested in Exuma, you'd see Exuma take off, I mean, tremendously. I mean, we can say that also about maybe Eleuthera and also about Abaco, but I think these three islands, there should be greater local governance. So whatever comes in, let's reinvest it, a portion of it in Exuma. We'll take off like you wouldn't believe.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pedro Roll, for stopping by. Pedro is the president of the Exuma Chamber of Commerce. Great talking to you this morning.
My pleasure.
Listen, Jimenita is just down there by the pool area overlooking the harbor, and she has a young sailor sitting next to her, and we're going to catch up with them.
Now, we spoke to Reg earlier, who told us about one of their former junior sailors, Rebecca Knowles, who is joining me now on Wake Up Bahamas. Good morning, Rebecca. Are you up and ready to go?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, they're starting early today, so got to be ready.
So we had an opportunity to speak to your mom earlier in the week, who tells me that you got involved in sailing at a very young age. And then after you got here, how did you end up getting involved in sailing here?
Well, I've been sailing since about 3 years old, and I'm 19 now, so it's about like 17, 16 years. And once I got to Exuma, Buzzy, who sails Bull Reg, he started a summer camp, and I just got into it. And then once our school created the Exuma Sailing Club, that was it for me.
So what do you like most about sailing?
I'd say how it brings everybody together. Like, everybody in the Bahamas loves to watch the sailing and just loves to sail. Like, we'd go out on the boat, row each other for a little bit, come back on land, and we just talk all day about it. So
now, I know there aren't too many female skippers doing their thing. So were you, I guess, timid in any way as you moved up to it, or are you just ready now to take on any and everybody?
no, I feel like it's very empowering. Like, I feel like I'm kind of a staple to show that women can do pretty much anything that men can do. And honestly, everybody makes you feel like you're one of the guys.
So what would you say was probably one of the most challenging things for you when you're sailing out on the waters?
I'd say not having enough strength to do some things. Like, pulling an A-class anchor is probably not something that I'd be able to do, but I'm trying hard.
So you've sailed most of all of the classes now?
Yes, I've sailed in C class, I've sailed a B class, and now I'm in A.
So are you doing any competition this time in the regatta, or are you just spectating?
I'm actually sailing in rough justice. I'm working the jib, so yeah.
So we'll see Rebecca out on the water. So what's next for you? I think you were also doing studying of pursuing further academics in this area as well.
Yes, right. I'm doing psychology right now, and I'm really into it. But sailing will always be a love of mine, and I definitely plan to come back to the Bahamas.
So Rebecca Knowles, one of our female sailors, she's having a great time on the waters. You're watching Wake Up Bahamas. We'll be right back. There's so much more to show you, so don't go anywhere.
I used to know that you loved me before. I used to know that you cared. I used to know that you loved me before. I used to know.
Thank all of you for waking up with us. Yes, I know you're having a great time because I'm hearing from so many of you. A big, big good morning to all of you in Nassau watching and tuning in on ZNS channel 211. Also, those of you watching the streaming live, all of y'all, ASP Dean, Shandia, a bunch of y'all, my mother, so many of you. I know you're going to have a great time. In fact, you're in store for an even better time because we have more to tell you about. This week, I visited with, at Regatta Park, D-Mac. Who doesn't know him, right? Dogs Don't Bark at Parked Cars and all the other things, wonderful hits that he sings. So I visited with him as he was putting everything together because he's in charge of that aspect. Well, you'll hear him talk more about it. But we had a great time. He also sang his new song for me, which will become an anthem. I know that. But, you know, I'm not going to say much more. I just want you to have a peek. Take a look.
I need you to advance my pay so I could fill my prescription today. My doctor say dance around a lot, drink plenty liquid. My doctor say cause staying in bed ain't recommended. My doctor say I following doc instructions, so boss you can't get mad at me. No, 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 I doing what doctor tell me. It's all about the 65th National Family Island Regatta. And yes, you know, I came back. I recently moved back to Exuma last year, September. And so now I've been getting involved in different activities and stuff. And so the National Family Island Regatta is a part of it. Of course, I'm kind of spearheading and most of the entertainment and the sound and lighting, all that stuff, to make sure we have a special year this year.
I mean, how can you top what's already a hit and it's already doing incredibly well? How can you top that this year with your touch, your special D-Mac touch?
Well, you know, when you have the D-Mac brand involved, it's always now, we take it up another level, we take it up a notch. So now this is the first time we've had stage and lighting and all of this stuff like that. So this is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing now from the entertainment side, this professional level, this high level of entertainment, sound, lighting and everything, and a lot of energy.
Let me tell you, the party goes on down there, just beyond here, go like till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Tonight, they trying to push 5 tomorrow morning, so we'll see exactly how that goes. But hey, I am joined now by Basil B.J. Smith, and if you're wondering about him, if the name doesn't ring a bell, well, certainly when you hear these songs, you'll be like, ah, that's him. So Raleigh Gray, you know, Raleigh Gray, what I won't sing. So Exuma Suite, and how about Sailor Man Song? All these songs are anthems and hits, all depicting life and personalities of Exuma. Good morning to you, BJ, and welcome to Wake Up Bahamas.
Good morning, Michelle. How you doing? It's great to be in the house.
Shanique, let's just start this right. Yeah, let's just do this right. So listen, BJ, you are somebody who has pushed out the hits, and you've done a great job over the years with these wonderful songs. I want to just walk through your nice archive here. The Raleigh Gray song, which is amazing and really, really super, right?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
super. I love it. I totally love it.
Yeah.
What is the story behind that?
Well, you know, I'm Captain Raleigh Gray. You know, he is our national hero. You know, and ever since I am, know myself, you know, Raleigh Gray, he was the man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I always think that I owe him something. And I always used to tell him when he was alive, I say, Cap, you know, I'm going to write a song for you. And, you know, he would just laugh and laugh and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after he passed, you know, I came out with the 2 tributes to him. The Sailor Man song and Captain, this one for Raleigh Gray.
So the Raleigh Gray and the Sailor Man song are both about him?
Yes, yes. Both of them.
Yeah,
two tributes to him.
Right, and you know what? They're so, you know, how do you describe your sound? Because they are really kind of, you know, when somebody is known to produce songs that immediately register with people, you have that nice magic that you have struck when producing songs.
Thank you. I feel it's good about it. You know, it's when you have this culture in it. You know what I mean? You should be proud of your culture, and you know, and that's the way I write my songs too. You know, I got to feel, you know, that culture in me, and I want to produce that type of song.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Now, what about Exuma Suite?
Exuma Suite like that, like, Shanika, if you look around in the background and you just travel around these islands, then you know what that song is about.
No, Exuma is totally sweet now. I mean, y'all really got the magic mix here. So listen, I'm not gonna let you go until you give me a taste of one of these wonderful anthems that we all have grown to love, and we all know and dance to and tap our feet to. And so, which one are you gonna go with now?
I gotta go with Exuma Suite.
Let's hear something.
Hey mama, hey grandpa, they coming from far. They coming from America and Canada. Oh, inviting you down to my hometown. Oh, this your assurance. Oh, when you come down, smiling faces over here. This welcome await you. See you when you get here. You hear them, oh no, we didn't know. Exuma sweet like this.
Yes, yes, I love it absolutely. And so you hear that, mixing in the studio. Only the mixing that must happen because that voice is at what 9:40 in the morning. That voice is exactly as it sounds on the hit and on the cut. Really, really nice. Any upcoming projects? I know you're working very closely with DMAC as well.
Yes, I have a brand new song that should have been out 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna hold DMAC in the dance for that one because he promised me faithfully that it was going to be out 2 weeks ago.
Now, can we have a little sneak peek of that?
It's about sailing too, I just somehow I just can't get the sailing stuff with me. You know what I mean?
Well, why change something that works?
That's true. That's good.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, Basil, B.J. Smith, really, really wonderful to sit and have a chat with you. Saw you yesterday, and I know that you are supposed to be also among the wonderful artists who are going to be hitting the stage this week. And so looking forward to seeing you perform as well.
Well, thank you, girl. Thank you. And thank you to be a part of my island.
Yes.
Exploring it and enjoying it.
Yes, yes. The world loves Exuma, so why not me?
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So listen, you all, speaking of Exuma and how the world loves it, Exuma has so many unique people and great features. In fact, many people from around the world says that is the best feature of Exuma. It's great people. Well, yesterday I had an opportunity to sit and chat with a very special lady, 100 years old, and I'll tell you, this lady is quite stylish, and she ain't trying to dim that light anytime soon. Guys, meet Essie Roll.
I'd like to give you these flowers with all of my love.
Yeah, well, I thank you very much for this flower.
It's become her passion to personally wish each Bahamian turning 100 a happy birthday. On Thursday afternoon, the unassuming village of Curtis may have eclipsed what was happening in Georgetown when Dame Marguerite Pindling stopped by to wish the settlements and perhaps Exuma's oldest resident, 100-year-old Essie Roll, a happy birthday.
I came today with all of my love.
Yeah.
To say thank you for receiving me on this wonderful celebration.
Yeah, well, I thank you very much.
Yes,
ma'am. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very much to give me this flower.
Oh, with my love. Make sure you all take good care of them now. Make them last long. Okay, and to remember me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Remember Lady Penny.
Oh, she's sick.
As for the birthday girl, she's incredible to watch. She lives alone, dresses herself, and is quite stylish. And she still enjoys her favorite pastime, plaiting straw.
A lot of inspiration right here. Just a lot of inspiration here. So I got to really look up to her. Every other day I come in the back and try to visit just to see how she's doing. And when you come in the back, you don't leave with your hand empty. She can put something in your hand every time you come in the back.
Having been around for 100 years, it's always interesting to hear what a centenarian has to say about today's Bahamas. Essie reminisced about her youth and the fact that having structure in place kept her focused.
Our days, what I could get nowadays, in these days, we can be everything we gotta go in the farm for it. Everything. And now they don't wake no farm even. Don't wake
The young people are interested in no farm?
No farm, no farm.
Like, see, everybody in this settlement, we live as like one. Yeah, man. If you need a Canada made paste, I could go by Robert, or I go by her, and they could get that, instead of going by the shop. These days in time, you don't have that around too much. You know what I'm saying? You just have neighbors, I mean, in some other settlements, you just have neighbors living next door, and they don't speak to each other. You know what I'm saying? But that don't happen around here.
It was such a wonderful time with Dame Marguerite, Governor General, who went and sat with Essie. Essie lives in Curtis, and she's lived there since forever. She was married 73, 74 years until her husband passed away recently at the age of 93. And so this lady's still going very strong, and she looks good, and she, dresses nicely and everything, just looking really, really nice. Lives alone. Incredible. Great meeting her. And so now I'm joined by Jeremy Mutton. Jeremy is the general manager at Sandals. I just love your property.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. Morning, how are you?
I am well, thank you. It's great seeing you after some time. Sandals is doing wonderful things here on the island of Exuma, continuing to do wonderful things. You are recently held a career fair for students, I guess to expose them to what's available and what's possible in hospitality and specifically at Sandals.
Exactly. First time we done it, and it was really a success. So, and we just realised exactly as you said that we needed to expose the students not only to what is available at Sandals and in the hospitality industry, but we invited many other businesses locally, BPL, BTC, a lot of the vendors were with us, the police, and it was really for 10th, 11th and 12th graders from Ellen Coakley and St Andrews, and as well as actually looking at opportunities after school.
Yes.
What we also did was
sort of an early start into whichever area they have an interest.
Exactly, and it was good because a lot of the students didn't realise there were so many departments within a hotel. And also we also gave them opportunities in terms of how to prepare a resume, how to present yourself at an interview. So it was very good, and we'd like to repeat it every year and get more people on board. So really, they just have a really good understanding and maybe start to focus themselves as to maybe I need to look at this career or this opportunity. So it was successful.
Which is awesome, and it's a good thing nowadays to kind of get students at the senior level from 10th grade thinking about what's out there.
Exactly.
And especially if they don't go to university, they can come in and grow through those means.
Absolutely, and a lot don't have the opportunity to go on to further or higher education. So, if they're starting to focus and think about what is beyond school, we hope that they will do better in school in their final few years. And so it was very good, and certainly the businesses that participated, they also said how good it was. So we look forward to continuing it every year.
Sandals here in Exuma has maintained a very unique niche, and also its brand continues to go very, very strong. How are you running in terms of occupancy levels and just the appeal that continues to be Sandals here in Exuma?
We've certainly had a very good 2018. Since beginning of January, when we had the PGA golf tournament, we've really been running at almost full occupancy, which is fantastic. So, the time is coming now where we really have to look at expansion, which I know, a lot of people have been talking of. What's going on? When are we expanding?
I've been hearing about it.
Absolutely. And as I always say, it's a case of when as opposed to if. But the expansion plans that our chairman has in mind are hundreds of millions. It is a huge, proposal that we're looking at. We're currently speaking with government at the moment, but there's a lot of due diligence you have to do with such a large expansion. We're looking at doubling the size of the resort, but you need to ensure that the infrastructure on the island, the airport and everything, it's not just Sandals. Exactly. So there's a lot of, it really is, partnering with government, partnering with public services to make sure that when we're ready for that expansion, the island is ready for the expansion. So it takes, we're doing our due diligence at the moment, environmental impact studies we're doing. But like I said, it's a case of when as opposed to if. We'll be celebrating our 10th year in Exuma next year. The first couple of years were challenging for us, and we had to really establish the destination. A lot of people hadn't heard of Exuma, but now we're at a stage 10 years later when...
Listen, people know about Exuma now.
Absolutely, for sure. Exuma, the swimming pigs, and that's great. And now it's a case of, okay, where do we now go? How do we expand? What do we expand? We're looking at, in fact, do we keep it as a Sandals, which is couples only, or do we perhaps branch out into our beaches brand, which is family? That's another option as well. So a lot is on the table that we're thinking of at the moment. But like I said, definitely a case of when as opposed to if expansion.
Awesome, awesome. And you are still the largest employer on the island?
We are, just over 600 that we employ here, and that's direct jobs. So obviously, and then there's a lot of suppliers and entertainers, and you know, we take that responsibility seriously. Somebody was saying to me yesterday, you know, what's the impact of Regatta on sandals? And I was honest and said, not really a lot. We don't do much in terms of accommodation, but being the largest business, we see what it does for Exuma. And so that's why we do support it and help sponsor it, because, you know, it's huge for Exuma. So, and that's why we're here supporting Regatta.
Absolutely. Well, it's wonderful sitting with you and chatting with you again.
Thanks a lot.
It's been a while since we've
Yes.
seen each other, but it's really, really great, and happy to hear what's happening at Sandals. Continued success.
Thanks a lot, Shanique. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Jeremy Mutton, the general manager at the Sandals Resort. Jimenita is just below me, and she has something quite nice for us. We're going to send it there.
Well, Shanique, it was definitely an adventure moving through the Exuma Keys, that is. But one of the stops that everyone has to make is definitely the world-renowned swimming pigs. So we're finally here at Big Major Key to swim with the pigs. Now, we haven't gotten off the boat as yet, but as you can see, not too far away from me, there's a big fella looking for some bread.
The swimming pigs come up to greet you just as excited as you are to meet them. Some are eager for a meal, while others appear just to enjoy the swim in the cool waters.
So maybe it's been a hard day for this little piggy here. Nothing about him is little, but he is chilling on the sands here at Big Major Key. Why are you not here? This is the place to be. The world famous swimming pigs is a major attraction here in Exuma in the Keys. You have such a beautiful view. Come and check out the pigs, feed them, hang out, take pictures. It's what's happening here.
Philip was visiting from Austria, and swimming with the pigs was definitely at the top of his agenda.
My girlfriend, she wanted to do it and I joined her, but I'm really happy to be here. Well, it's a cool tour and it's, amazing spots, amazing ocean, enjoying the day, cool thing.
Scott and his girlfriend Rachel also had a fun time.
They were the highlight, except for one chasing me around the beach, but I enjoyed it. They're so cute. Look at the little piggies, the little baby ones. They're so cute.
Yeah, it's unlike anything you've seen before, getting to hang out with wildlife like this. So.
And how did you hear about it? Was it word of mouth? Did you see it online?
Our Airbnb host recommended it to us, and of course, the swimming pigs in general. We had definitely heard about. I think I saw it on The Bachelor first.
So definitely not disappointed. There you have it. The visitors are loving it. They think you should be here too. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over to Exuma. Why aren't you here? We're waiting. The pigs are waiting. Well, swimming with the pigs was definitely a wonderful experience. And joining me now is Mr. Emmett Sanders. He is a senior manager with the Ministry of Tourism here in Exuma. Good morning, Emmett, and welcome to the Wake Up Bahamas show.
Good morning, Jimenita, and welcome to the island of Exuma. We are very pleased to have ZNS, the voice of the Bahamas, joining us for this event, the National Family Islands Regatta.
Now, definitely, the swimming pigs is a major draw for domestic and foreign visitors. Tell us about the impact that they've had here on Exuma.
Absolutely international tourism phenomenon. Absolutely. We've got visitors and visitors who are coming to Exuma specifically for that swimming pigs experience. It has added extra economic vitality to those persons living in the Keys, as well as those businesses providing excursions here in the greater Exuma and also from Nassau. We've seen that because of the numbers of tourism. Visitor arrivals in Exuma has increased from 6 years ago, from 30,000 until now 61,000, an increase of over 100%. Some people in tourism, maybe our minister may say that's because of expert marketing and genius leadership, but certainly we've got the product in place here in Exuma, and the people are satisfied with the experience in Exuma in particular.
So in addition to the pigs, you also have the sharks, the iguanas. There's so many attractions in the Keys to keep everyone coming.
Indeed, there are so many attractions to keep individuals coming to the Exumas. But one of the things that we've got to stress is when we're in an archipelagic destination, three things are key to our success: awareness, activity, and access. We've got activities galore here at Exuma, beginning with the National Family Island Regatta. We just put on in January a full Professional Golfers Association tournament. Just in March, we've had a Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival.
So lots happening here in Exuma.
Activities abound here in Exuma. The access, we've got the access, better access than any other out island in the Bahamas.
Well, there you have it. Emmett Sanders telling us about all of the wonderful activities here in Exuma. But you're watching the Wake Up Bahamas show. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
So did you know that the Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for Family Island Regattas? That's right. And I am so, so happy to have sitting next to me the people who make it happen every year, bigger and better each year, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. This is Cindy Gay and also Barry Wilmot. And lady and gentlemen, really, really great to have you both here next to me. Cindy, give us an idea of the role you play in making this all happen.
Oh, good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, Ms. Miller. Here at the Regatta Desk at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, our role is to promote the sloop sailing both internationally and nationally. We're here to assist all committee members, sailors, organization to promote sloop sailing. You know, this is a long standing tradition in the Bahamas, and it's a dying sport or a dying tradition. And our job now is to promote it and to put it back into the spotlight. And that's what we're doing now for the Regatta Desk and at the ministry.
Super. And Barry, the role that you're playing?
Actually, it's a transitional period right now. I'm taking over from Cindy, who has done a wonderful job. She's moving on to another department, and I'm hyped, excited, and ready for it.
Sounds good. Barry, hold your mic up a bit, just as I'm doing. So listen, you all, I don't think you have much work to do here with the Exuma Regatta because it's incredible. I mean, the energy, the fact that you have, I guess, sloop sailors from around the country, and I hope I hope I'm using the right lingo, here participating. It's really just encouraging to see, I'm sure.
Yes, and to offer administrative support.
Here at the National Family Island Regatta, this is the largest regatta on the calendar. This is an open regatta. Sailors come from every island in the Bahamas. And I'm told this year we have close to 70 boats participating, boat A, B, C, and E classes. So this is an exciting time for sloop sailing here in the Bahamas.
And then to see teenagers participating, that is also awesome. Just look at the waters right now, at that incredible shot. Just really, really great to see all those sloops on there. And then I know you all say that you want this to be an international event, which it is. Danny was so happy to share this with me, and you both obviously know about this. The wonderful waters of Exuma, the wonderful waters of the Bahamas, including our great sails, are featured around the world in publications like this one that I'm holding up, South Winds, News and Views for Southern Sailors. Incredible. Stuff like this is what gets the word out continuously, right?
Yes.
Stuff like that, and also, if you remember, back in December, the ministry hosted the Best of the Best, and that was streamed live. We had millions of viewers. We send it internationally. That is our minister and our ministry's portfolio right now, to put sloop sailing out there, to get it out there to the public, to get it out there to the world. Let them see what we have here that is so special about sloop sailing. We had international sailors at the Best of the Best from about 16 different countries that came on board and participated in our sloop sailing. And it was a wonderful experience. And every year they want to come back and do it. So we want to promote sloop sailing in other areas to bring it back to the forefront.
Amazing. And with teenagers involved, I mean, it's alive and well. Yes, Barry,
Exactly.
I know you
You
want to
did mention teenagers.
Yeah.
We just recently came off our third annual National Youth Sailing Program
So
in Grand
awesome.
Bahamas.
Yes.
And we had approximately about 125 young sailors from throughout the country.
Amazing.
Sailing and just doing their things. Just so amazing.
A lot to be excited about.
Very.
I'll give you each an opportunity for a small final comment.
First of all, I would like to thank Cindy, who's moving on. Cindy has done a wonderful job. She's really been the face of Regatta for the last 5 years. And Cindy, on behalf of the Minister and our Permanent Secretary, Ms. Rami, we want to say thank you. You are a face that will remain in the Regatta setting, and I'm sure everybody loved Cindy. And as you move on, I want to say congratulations. We wish you all the best, because I know you will do well.
Well, I have enjoyed working the Regatta desk. I have made a lot of friends, made a lot of contact, and this has been a great experience for what I want to do in the future. And tell them don't count me out, because I'm still here when they need me.
No, because I know you're going to be there. Y'all ain't getting rid of Cindy.
No,
they're
they're
like,
get rid of
excuse me, Barry, move. Let me just get this sorted out.
So I am still here to help and assist. Just moving on to a different area. So, but I wish Barry all the best.
Thank you.
And we're going to do much. We're going to do plenty. We have a lot in store for regattas. Technology, these new committees in these family islands, we're going to be there for them. You're going to see. Watch out for us.
Awesome.
By 2020, sloop sailing, unsailing will be a national sport.
Amazing. Congratulations to both of you and continued success. I know it's going to be bigger and better next year and in the years to come, certainly. Listen, we're going to take a final break this morning here on Wake Up Bahamas from Georgetown, Exuma. When we come back, Jimanita and I will have some final words for you. Stay close. I certainly enjoyed hanging out with you these past few days. I've seen you do things that I've only dreamt of doing and get a chance to hopefully.
It's been a really, really fun
I love
time
your
here.
pieces too, with the pigs, with the sharks, and the iguanas. Nice.
Well, I see you had a great time chatting with that lady who celebrated her 100th birthday
100,
this week.
how blessed, right? Awesome.
I have to make it there.
Yeah, yes. So did Dame Marguerite. She said, listen, I hope and she's well on her way at 80 plus. So certainly, but both ladies lovely and looking very, very well.
So this is, of course, the Wake Up Bahamas show, but there are some people that we have to say thank you to who made all of those wonderful adventures possible. Of course, there's a Commodore of the Regatta, Mr. Danny Strawn. A special thanks to you, Captain Randy Butler, and the Sky Bahamas team, Burton Rogers and Brian Gunther here at Peace and Plenty. Thanks, guys, to Mika Rule, and, of course, the team from the Ministry of Tourism, Javier Bowen Avuel, and the BTC team. Of course, there's also Bob Smith, Captain Jetty, First Mate Liz, and the Coastline Adventure crew who took us through the Keys, and we had a wonderful time. And, of course, Mr. Jeremy Mutton, Sanokia Watson, and the Sandals team. All of you made the Wake Up Bahamas experience possible in so many ways. So a special thank you from all of us here. Any final thoughts, any final words about this whole experience here in Exuma?
Just incredible. I mean, we slept this much, but other than that, it was amazing, totally amazing. And to the fantastic ZNS crew, all the producers and the directors and the audio people and the cameraman and Ashley.
All of the people that make it possible and make it happen.
And this gentleman who is waving his hand, whoever he is, hello to you, sir. Yes. But listen, to everybody, Exuma has been incredible. We are going to stick around and bring you more coverage, of course, package pieces. Look out for stuff from Jimanita. She'll have much more for you on the news.
So we had a great time here from all of us, Shanique and I, and the Wake Up Bahamas show. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous day.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom